5 steps to fight back against central bank digital currencies. Buy your precious metals online from SD Bullion. New customers get gold and silver at spot by visiting sdbullion.com/new. Hey everyone, thanks for watching Yankee Stacking. Central Bank Digital Currencies, CBDCs. You've heard me talk about them in prior videos, so I'm not going to go into it in great detail on this. If you're interested, just check out my playlist on CBDCs. But this video is how to fight back against them. And I'm going to tell you right now, you do need to fight back against a central bank digital currency. Let me just quickly summarize just a few truths about CBDCs that you need to be reminded of before I give you my 5 steps. First, they're coming, and there's no denying it. Governments all around the world are adopting this monetary blasphemy. And I believe governments worldwide will soon force their citizens to use their CBDCs. And for us Americans, the wholesale CBDC is starting in July this year, with a retail CBDC right around the corner. The Bank for International Settlements, the BIS, has already piloted their international cross-border retail CBDC. It's codenamed Icebreaker. Check it out. Google it. Second, CBDCs are going to enable all sorts of horrible, totalitarian things. Governments will track and control every penny you earn, save, spend, and they will use a CBDC as a powerful tool to confiscate and redistribute your wealth as they see fit. They'll establish expiration dates on your currency, kind of like some airline frequent flyer miles, forcing you to spend it within a certain period of time. The third thing is that CBDCs will make it possible for central banks to impose deeply negative interest rates. It's really a fancy way of saying they're going to tax you on saving money. The fourth thing you need to remember is that CBDCs will enable devious social engineering by allowing governments to punish and reward people in ways they haven't been able to do up till now. They're going to pair that with a type of social credit system. China is already doing it. And where China goes, we sadly follow in maybe just a slightly different flavor. The fifth and final thing I want you to remember is that CBDCs will be touted as the solution for all kinds of stuff like future stimulus, the solution for money laundering, for tax evaders, for viruses. I mean, the solution for our dollar's demise and a currency reset. Our government's going to look at CBDCs as the solution. They're going to sell it that way, even though they're still just a fiat currency scam on steroids. So what do? How should freedom-loving patriots like you and I fight back against this monetary scourge? Well, it will be challenging, but the reward, maintaining our liberty, is priceless. Here are my 5 steps anyone can take to opt out of this dystopia. Step number 1, get the word out. I'm doing my part with my YouTube channel. I'm right here telling you about this. And I'm trying to warn you, you can do the same. You can share this video with people that you love and tell them what's coming. There's a lot of ignorance out there. Also, check this out. SaveTheDollar.org. Just say no to central bank digital currency. I think this is a great way to get the word out. In fact, I'm going to do it on the reverse too, so I can really see it. Either side. Why not? Let's circulate a bunch of these around. Urge your state reps to pass anti-central bank digital currency laws. Several states have already enacted legislation against them. Do your part. Tell others to contact their state reps as well. That's number 1. Number 2, cut out debt. Now, I know this is somewhat controversial. I've heard this a lot. Under inflation, Yankee, under hyperinflation, it's good to have some debt. And I get the argument. It can be beneficial because you will be paying off that debt with dollars that are worth less over time. Real estate moguls like Donald Trump have done this with debt for decades. Structured debt, that is, not consumer debt. However, this will likely not hold true during a dollar reset and the introduction of a central bank digital currency. Like I've mentioned before, the powers that be are going to jerry-rig the new currency in ways that will completely shock you, including the potential re-indexing or revaluing your debt to inflation with a new digital currency, adjusting your debt against inflation. I can see that happening. The less you're reliant on the government, the less control they have over you. They want you to be a debtor slave to the establishment. They want you to max out your credit cards to live paycheck to paycheck. They want you to be on SNAP and WIC and other welfare programs. They need you to require stimulus. Once they get you trapped, they can force a CBDC much more easily. Remember this famous quote: "Gold is the money of kings, silver is the money of gentlemen, barter is the money of peasants, but debt is the money of slaves." Don't play the debt game. And that quote brings us to step number 3. Stack physical gold and silver. You knew that was coming, right? You knew I was going to get here. Avoiding central bank digital currencies means using alternative forms of money. This 20 is currency. It is not money. You probably know that, but most people sadly do not know that. It's kind of like, if you ask the average person of the former Soviet Union, where do hammers come from? They would have probably said, well, the government, they make our hammers. Where else would they come from? Who else makes hammers? It's the same mentality regarding currency today, except it's much more widespread. The truth is money doesn't need to come from the government at all, any more than hammers do. For thousands of years, gold and silver have been our most enduring form of money. Yeah, we've used other stuff in the past, but gold and silver have stood the test of time. Gold and silver are money. This stuff is durable, divisible, consistent, convenient, scarce, not too scarce, but just scarce enough, and most importantly, absolutely impossible for a central bank or government to inflate. You and I can choose to opt out of a CBDC by using physical silver and gold to store and eventually exchange value with. Physical gold is optimal for long-term savings and potential large transactions, or maybe to exchange for more physical silver. Physical silver, like these 90% silver coins, are more practical for smaller everyday transactions. Think about it like gold being a large denomination $100 bill and silver being a $1 bill. Stack silver and gold and store them to fight back against a central bank digital currency. Step number 4, get organized locally. This step and the final step will bring the prepper out in me, but they're very important. Get to know people in your community. If you avoid central bank digital currencies, a lot of the conveniences that you use and are used to will unfortunately become unavailable. You will probably be unable to go to Costco or some other large store of any kind and buy with this physical currency, because they're going to be sucked into the CBDC vortex. You will have to become more self-sufficient. You're going to have to rely more on your local community to get what you need. And that starts with getting to know them. I mean, knowing the people around you, knowing who can provide you with the things you want or need. Now, I'm not suggesting you become like the Amish, but we all need to learn how to work outside the traditional system and replace some of it with our local communities. And that leads me to the last step, and that is learn how to barter. Remember, tangible money was created to solve the problems with barter. Exchanging eggs for a screwdriver can be kind of difficult. Money solved that. But to be frank with you, barter doesn't look all that bad when faced with a central bank digital currency. You should tackle bartering and start with things like work, bartering work, and then move up to the next level, stuff. Then introduce silver into the mix. The key is to understand what value you can provide to others in your community and how you can exchange that value for something you want. Maybe, try to do some work for your dentist in exchange for getting a cavity filled or something, or help, if you got a local butcher, help him with his car problem in exchange for some pork chops, whatever. Then you can move to exchanging goods that you've prepped with others for things you need. And then finally, start trying it with silver. Or if it's something big like a car, maybe even gold. You don't have to be a full-on prepper to learn how to barter more effectively. However, becoming more self-sufficient like a prepper in as many areas as you can is a good thing to do. And that includes stockpiling supplies, gaining survival skills and knowledge. Check out my playlist, Prepping the Yankee Way, for more info on that. Now, before I finish up, I want to give a word about Bitcoin and other private cryptocurrencies. It might be tempting to try to avoid a centralized central bank digital currency with a decentralized crypto like Bitcoin. Don't do it. Bitcoin is not privacy proof. I don't care what they say, it isn't. And it is not unblockable by governments. Bitcoin is not your CBDC savior. It will be regulated into oblivion and relegated to obscurity when CBDCs take hold. No one is going to trust a private crypto once CBDCs take over. And they are coming. So here's the bottom line. We're on the cusp of probably the most significant change to money and finance in world history. You need to prepare now. Follow my 5 steps. Step 1, get the word out. Step 2, cut out debt. Step 3, stack silver and gold. Step 4, get organized locally. And step 5, learn how to barter. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, I hope your day is A-OK.